Coronavirus, the reason behind the great global pandemic of 2020, the reason why we are compelled to lock ourselves in house in order to protect ourselves and stay safe. Now there are tons of things which we may want to and need to know about this virus. So I will be making a series of videos explaining each and every topic related to coronavirus. Press the bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. Today in this video I'll be talking about the origin, structure and replication cycle of coronavirus. Coronavirus belongs from the family Coronaviridae, subfamily Coronavirinae, and important pathogens of birds and mammals. These are RNA viruses and is currently divided into 4 genera: alpha coronavirus, beta coronavirus, delta coronavirus, and gamma coronavirus. Global pandemic COVID-19 is caused by the coronavirus, which goes by the name Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2 or SARS-CoV-2 Beta-CoV, which belongs to the genre Beta coronavirus. It is believed to have a zoonotic origin, means the infectious disease which is caused by some pathogen can jump from a non-human animal to human and also has close genetic similarity. That means this coronavirus has a close genetic similarity to bat coronaviruses, suggesting it emerged from bat-borne viruses. The most recent ancestor of all coronavirus is estimated to have existed as recently as 8000 BCE, and specifically beta coronavirus, the genre of present coronavirus, lying at 3300 BCE. A phylogenetic study published in 2020 indicates that pangolins are the reservoir host of SARS-CoV-2 like coronavirus. However, there is no evidence to link pangolins as the intermediate host. It is hypothesized that SARS-CoV-2 originated in pangolins, jumped back to bat, and then to human. Therefore, based on maximum parsimony, a specific population of bats is more likely to have directly transmitted SARS-CoV-2 to man than pangolins. Now, this is the structure of coronavirus. The coronavirus has the diameter of about 120 nanometer. The envelope is of 85 nanometer and the spikes are 20 nanometer long. The envelope of the virus is an electron-dense cell. Before we go into much detail about the structure of the coronavirus, let us first see this viral envelope. Okay, you can see this round, that black rounds. This is the viral envelope. Now, this viral envelope consists of lipid bilayer on which the membrane envelope and the spike glycoproteins are anchored. Our present coronavirus has a shorter spike that like surface protein called hemagglutinin esterase. Okay, now the surface spikes of the coronavirus, this EN-M protein which is present on this viral envelope, this maintains the structure of the envelope. Now let us see the surface spike. Now when we see the surface spikes of the coronavirus, we can see that this is a homotrimers of S protein. It consists of S1 and the S2 subunit. The homotrimeric S protein is a class 1 fusion protein which mediates receptor binding and membrane fusion between virus and host cells. S1 protein forms the head of the spike and has receptor binding domain. That you can see the violet part, that is the receptor binding domain. The S2 protein forms the stem which anchors the spike in the viral envelope. Inside the envelope, there is a nucleocaspid formed from multiple copies of nucleocaspid protein, which is bound to positive single-stranded RNA genome. The lipid bilayer envelope of the membrane protein and the nucleocapsid protect the virus when it is outside the host cell. Now, before we talk about the replication cycle of the coronavirus, first let us see the spike protein, the S-glycoprotein of the coronavirus. Now, see what happens. I told you that this violet portion that you can see is the receptor binding domain of the S protein, that is the spike of the coronavirus. Now, what it does is it binds with the receptor, cellular receptor of the host cell. That receptor is ACE2, that is angiotensin converting enzyme. So what it does, the receptor binding domain of the spike protein of coronavirus binds with ACE2 receptor of the host cell. Now after the receptor binding, there is a conformational change in the S protein which facilitates the viral envelope fusion with this, as you can see over here. After the receptor binding, there is a conformational change in S protein which facilitates the viral envelope fusion with the cell membrane through endosomal pathway. Like you can see over here, this virus is attached to the membrane receptor, that is the ACE2 receptor, and then it undergoes a conformational change. See, this picture depicts the full life cycle of coronavirus. Now, before we go into the detail of coronavirus, there are a few points that you need to know. The main points of the coronavirus replication is number 1, ribosome frame shifting. Now, what is this ribosome frame shifting? Ribosome frame shifting is a process which helps in producing many different unique proteins from a single genome. And the second one is the synthesis of genomic and multiple subgenomic RNA species. Now what happens this over here is, this is the hallmark of coronavirus transcription. It produces multiple subgenomic mRNA that corresponds to the both ends of the genome. Okay. Now the RNA that is synthesized, it protein and non-structural protein 2 and nucleocapsid protein N. Now what happened? This RNA synthesizes two types of protein. One is the structural protein 2 and another one is the nucleocapsid protein N. Now what happens over here is, after this S protein is bind itself with this ACE2 receptor of the host membrane, it undergoes some conformational changes. The S protein undergoes some conformational changes which facilitates viral envelope to fuse with the host membrane through endosomal pathway. And what happens over here is, actually S protein is cleaved. Okay, it is cleaved by the endosomal acid proteases cathepsin L105 to activate its fusion activity. Then what happens? The viral genome is released and translated into viral replicase polyprotein PP1A and 1AB. You can understand better by this photograph. See, the positive sense RNA genome, it is translated into PP1A and PP1AB. Then it is cleaved, and then this positive sense RNA genome prepares protein. Now what happens over here? Sometimes this positive sense protein is only replicated to form the negative sense coronavirus genome, and then this negative RNA forms as a template for the positive sense coronavirus genome. And this negative sense coronavirus genome only, by the process of discontinuous transcription, forms multiple subgenomic plus mRNA. Now this plus mRNA, they translate and form many unique proteins. Okay, and then this positive sense RNA genome of coronavirus and the viral protein, they assemble and forms the virion. And after this what happens? RNA and N protein in the cytoplasm following budding in lumen by ERGIC pathway, that is the endoplasmic reticulum Golgi intermediate compartment, and then it forms a vesicle and it is exocytosized from the host membrane. This completes the replication cycle of coronavirus. I hope so that this replication cycle is clear to you. In the next video, I'll be uploading how coronavirus infects human or what happens when it infects another human. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.